Hey guys, it's Michelle, the Insulin Empress. I'm out walking and I just had to answer a question for somebody who is dealing with reactive hypoglycemia. That's where they have low sugars below 70 after eating. And they were told by their doctor that they're not pre-diabetic or diabetic or even have insulin resistance. And unfortunately, a lot of patients like this get misdiagnosed and mistreated for years and even decades because the wrong test has been checked. In order to check for insulin resistance, you cannot check glucose levels and A1C. By the time it shows up on either of those, you've been insulin resistant for a couple decades. So you want to check a fasting insulin level. You want it to be around 5. 3 to 7 is a good range, around 5 if you eat carbs. An example, mine, when I was first tested, my glucose was in the 80s and my A1C was 4.3. It was actually kind of low. It should be a little higher than that, but doctors unfortunately are not aware of low A1C levels, just the high ones. And so I was misdiagnosed and told I was a picture of health, even though my insulin level was 12. And I was dealing with massive insulin resistance and I was dealing with reactive hypoglycemia. And my sugars was dropping into the 50s a couple hours after eating. And so I told this person to have them check their fasting insulin level because they may be misdiagnosed with being told they're not insulin resistant when they're only checking sugar and A1C. So if you are dealing with low sugars after eating, if a couple hours after eating you're ravenous and getting tremors or palpitations or anything like that, and if you think there's a possibility of insulin resistance, if you have stubborn weight that you're trying to get rid of, then you're very likely insulin resistant, and so you'll want to get your fasting insulin checked, and you want it to be around 5. If it's 8 or higher, you're dealing with insulin resistance.